If you already have your Google account, please share it with the Trinity. I work with the Trinity to give you very detailed next steps and how we can improve ad performance better.
Then I urge you to speak to PanPages after this session to explore the different membership packages that we have for Malaysian SMEs to actually start.
Knowing Chris is really fantastic because earlier Trinity had been already helping us on doing some of the online marketing. So and then there were a few days that we didn't know exactly what to do. So you actually asked us, hey, so what you guys want to do, right?
Hence the reason why I've been working with Chris and his team a lot, because we are an AI startup, and my capabilities lies around the AI technology. We work with the partners like telcos, Mastercards. We're also part of Microsoft startup program globally, and that's the specialty. We have no capability in terms of advertisement and digital marketing. Hence the reason I think the likes of Trinity PanPages would be a perfect partner for us, because we generate intelligence out of data itself. And nonetheless, the intelligence is not going to be actionable unless you work on it. And hence Chris' team would be a perfect pairing for us, perfect partner for us.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to our webinar for today. My name is Jeremy and I'm happy to be your host for today. Before we begin, I would like to check if everyone is able to hear me. If you can, please type 1 in the chat box below. I see. Thank you. Welcome. That's great. I hope everyone's ready as we get set and to start our webinar soon. As you all know, earlier this week, Malaysia has moved into the endemic phase and borders reopened to the world. And our webinar today, Grow Your Export Business Through Google, is here to prepare your business for the best returns. Today, our attendees will get exclusive insights on how businesses can go further with PanPages Trinity and Google's international growth solutions. The agenda for today will be: we'll have Tara sharing on global export trends and opportunities. And we'll have Arthur coming in to share about Google's international program and some case studies. And we'll end it with John coming in to share on PanPages Trinity's global trade solutions. And we'll have a Q&A session with all of you together with our speakers as well. What we are going to focus on today is we're going to share on competitive insights and global export trends in 2022, pre and post-pandemic trends, the Google International Growth Team Program and PanPages Trinity as the first Google IGT partner in Southeast Asia, some strategies on how to generate more potential B2B leads and expand your export business further through the Google ecosystem, and also we'll be sharing some case studies on what brands are experiencing for their export business after embarking on their Google journey. So I'll be introducing our speakers for today. First up, we'll have Ms. Tara Yoon. She is the Agency Partnership Manager for Google Singapore. Tara has over 16 years of experience in digital marketing industry, and currently Tara takes care of partner agencies growth, including PanPages Trinity. Welcome, Tara. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Mr. Arthur. He is the Google International Growth Consultant for APAC. After 8 years in digital business, Arthur is now supporting businesses and partners to grow their footprint internationally, from opportunity sizing, market deep dive, and localization of content and operations. Hi, Arthur.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to today's session.
And finally, we have Mr. John Fong. He is our Global Trade Lead for PanPages Trinity. John has years of experience in helping Malaysian SMEs grow their business on different digital marketing channels and B2B e-commerce platforms. In 2020, he successfully helped over 80 clients to build and grow their export business through digitalization. Welcome, John.
Hi, everyone. Nice to have you all here.
All right. So to begin, let's kickstart this webinar with Ms. Tara Yun sharing on the global export trends and opportunities. Tara, over to you. Tara, I think
On mute, yeah.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining today's live stream. It's really great to see so many people joining this exciting, great content today. Before going deep dive into opportunities and what are the things that you can do with our partners and the Google solutions, first of all, I want to share some high-level global expert trend and immediate opportunity you can see. So in the first slide, if you look at Google search traffic, excluding China, as a proxy to global demand, you see that 88% of search queries are outside of Southeast Asia. I believe most of your businesses are based in Southeast Asia, but we are all looking forward to grow our business where more and other opportunities are. So this is a great number, and also giving us an idea what are those opportunities and how we can leverage this. So basically, again, this is hugely important as it demonstrates the huge blue ocean of buyers, potential customers for you outside of Southeast Asia. These potential buyers, customers are also expanding as we see digitalization across the world to accelerate due to COVID. Taking your business international basically means the opportunity to diversify your markets, your revenue, and definitely your business growth. Expanding abroad allows you to get out of a pressured competitive market and give opportunity and access to new customers. How exciting. In the next slide, I will share a little bit more numbers. Basically, amid COVID, we saw international growth has increasingly become a solid backbone of especially Southeast Asia's digitalization in e-commerce or commerce space. Export grew 1.6 times faster than GDP in the first 3 quarters last year, powered by rocket verticals. Most of you are in the vertical for sure, e-commerce, edtech, fintech, and etc. All these verticals that are expected to continue to grow as international buyers' habit for these verticals has permanently changed due to COVID. Just imagine yourself how you shop before COVID and today. I think that gives you a very good answer. In the next slide, also you can see what and why you need to work with the Trinity and what we can offer. Basically, Google as a global platform has been helping a lot of businesses of all size and types going global and expanding their global footprints. The challenges that Southeast Asia-based businesses face in going global are unique. You need support in localizing your international growth strategies, identifying untapped global markets, having the right digital talent, and attracting and engaging with potential, your target, relevant customers and users, including foreign buyers. Google has been a trusted partner to all our customers in solving your challenges, all those challenges included together. Our 9 platforms with over 1 billion users will provide the ability to understand your target audience and engage with them at the right moment. We constantly partner with world's leading organizations to develop best-in-class resources and research. On the right-hand side, you can see some examples for the insights and then information. Right. We also complement these resources with our own proprietary data to be able to best identify opportunities for your business to build and grow your market strategy and your marketing performance through Google Ad platform. This is an important market strategy to help and win for you in those new markets. We help you to operationalize your go-to-market strategy through our partner ecosystem, which is PanPage Trinity here. I'm extremely optimistic about international growth opportunity that you have today. And I think we are all here to see what are those opportunities are and how to make it relevant to your business and find a solution. To realize this exciting journey and opportunity, we all have an important role to play here. I'm very much looking forward to this journey that everyone is about to embark on, and great to see 68 attendees from various businesses. More than happy to answer all of your questions in the Q&A. Now I think a more exciting and interesting session led by Arthur regarding our international growth program. Yeah, you can hear more from there. Hope this high-level insight is helpful, and we are always here for you to share more interesting data and right marketing strategy for your business growth. Next up, over to you, Arthur.
Thank you, Tara. Before we move on, Arthur, to our audience here today, if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to type in the Q&A box below, and we will attend to it during the Q&A session later together with our speakers. Yep. Now we have Mr. Arthur. He'll be introducing the Google Intentional Program and some related case studies for our better understanding. Arthur, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jeremy and Tara, for setting up the scene and exciting everyone around the international growth opportunity. So yeah, actually I'm part of the international growth team at Google, and like Jeremy said at the beginning, our job is to help businesses like yours to go beyond their borders across the whole export journey, which might be quite complex. So if we go to the next slide, historically, we've been helping businesses directly, but we realized that it was very difficult to give that level of support to everyone, right, in terms of bandwidth. So what we've created is a program which is called International Growth Agency Program. And we are very, very, very happy to say that Trinity is the first Malaysian agencies to be selected to be part of this program. And what is it about? It's basically giving to Trinity and partner with Trinity to give access to a lot of different resources and data that only Trinity will be able to give you, thanks to this partnership, to support you throughout the whole journey. So it's a very new partnership that we just launched this year. And so we are very excited that you will be able to tap into this partnership capabilities thanks to Trinity today. So it goes from exclusive data that, like I said, only the agency has access to, some operational support on a lot of different topics when we go abroad that are needed, some strategic trainings and workshops with industry deep dives, some support as well for the top, some of you that really have huge opportunities and really want to go big into a market. We can also have some one-on-one conversations. And of course, so Trinity will be externally recognized as a premium partner for export, and some hosted event like what we're doing today. So that's first. And now, if we put ourselves in your shoes, right, the export journey can be quite complex. And we are here with Trinity along the way to support you for each of those steps. The first step is, okay, where should I go? Which market should I choose when I choose to go outside of my own domestic market? And for that, we need to understand a lot of different things. The demand volume, the competition for your specific industry, what are others doing there? What are the consumer behaviors that might fit your product or your service? And all of this prioritization to understand where to go. We are here to help you with Trinity to craft that strategy and understand where you should start your export journey, if it's not already started, of course. And then when we know where we want to land, we need to understand way more on the consumer there, the behaviors, what do they like, what they don't like, the do's and don'ts, the cultural nuances, right? Because you cannot talk the same way to a Korean consumer such as like an American consumer, right? So everyone is very different, and there is a lot of things that we need to harvest and understand when we are choosing to attack a new market. And on the other side, right, there is a lot of non-marketing activities that we need to figure out. All the operational setup is very key. So again, we have localization. So localization is not only translation, but it is in case you go to a country where English is not widely spoken. But it's also around the consumer journey, the user journey, right? It can be stupid stuff such as colors, where to put some button, where to, decide how to tackle the after-sale services or the pre-sale services, which payment method do you need to land there. So all of those things to understand how to make sure that your operations are ready to yield the best results for that specific market, right? And after, yeah, of course, there is the marketing strategy. So your campaigns, translating your campaign, what media mix you should have there, what type of campaign you should run, and how to make sure that they are properly crafted for that specific market. So this is basically the 4 steps that you are going through when you're going through an international journey. And I just want to reinstate that Trinity and Google is here through this partnership to help you at every stages. All right. So now I will explain a bit more on what actually is available through this partnership. So when I say identify a market, right? Trinity has access to a tool that no one else has access to with like exclusive data. And through this data, you can easily select your industry and understand a lot of different aspects. So as you can see here, you can select the demand volume for your product or services. You can check the growth of this category. You can check how cluttered is the industry. Do we have 10 competitors for each queries that people are doing, or is it a bit more wide-spaced? How is the cost going there? Is it very costly or not? And understand a bit better on the consumer demographics. What language is widely spoken there? Can I do only English, or do I have to add another language or not? Where do they buy? Do they buy mostly online, offline, in which type of channels? All those aspects will be entailed in this tool. And thanks to this, Trinity will be able to tell you, thanks to your insight that you will give them, where you should go as your target market or markets, right? So that's actually very powerful because it's all baked into data and like a logical process, right? So strongly encourage you to reach out to them for this. But I think John will actually be a bit more prescriptive afterwards of what's going to come next. So that's the first. And then if we move along, I was mentioning the consumer insights, right? And of course, your product and your audience will talk differently depending on where we are actually targeting to sell that product. So for example, here, this is one very quick snapshot of the type of insights that we could give. We could give a bit more, but it's just to give you an idea. I took an example of who is interested in durian in the USA, right? And here, what you can easily understand is the demographic. So it's mostly male, it's mostly parents, okay? And it's heavily skewed towards older audiences, 45 plus, right? And you can also understand what is their buying power compared to the basic American industry, consumer, I mean. So you can understand who they are in terms of demographic, but also what are they watching online, what the top channel they watch on YouTube, what is their main, hobbies and habits that they have. So as you can see here, most of them are South Asian film fans, which is not a surprise, right? But that can give you also some ideas on how you should communicate to them in terms of targeting, so where should you talk to them, and in terms of like creatives, tone, messaging, and how you could relate to them to make sure that they at the end of the day buy your product, right? And for example, this would be probably different if we look at the same profile, but in, I don't know, Germany, okay? So those type of insights will be, doable to share with you thanks to Trinity's partnership. And that can help you to build the best strategy ahead. So, and then if we move along as well, we can also make sure that you actually have the best localization strategy. If we go to the next slide. So I actually mentioned, right, that you need to adapt your communication, if you go to the next slide, to the different markets, right? Because this is what's going to be key to your success. Often people tend to say, I will copy and paste what I'm doing in my market and I will run the same thing there. Most of the time it doesn't work. It will probably work if you are a USA guy and you want to go into Canada, and even there, honestly, it's very, very different as well. So I would like to do a quick quiz with all of you. I can see that you can type in the chat. And who do you think is the nation that consume the most tea per capita? You can type your answer in the chat. UK, China, Turkey, or Japan? I can see some answers. UK, China, 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 China. Okay, a lot of China, Japan. Okay, interesting. So I'm very happy that I asked that question. There is a trick, of course, and it is Turkey. It is Turkey. Why? Because first thing first, it's per capita, and China has a lot of capita, as you know, like 1.4 billion. So it's actually quite sizable amount of people there. But more than that, something that I want to showcase here is that often we believe we know something. We believe from our conscious knowledge or the thing that we think we know about a culture, we often make some assumptions, and those assumptions are often wrong, right? Because we haven't lived there, we maybe know one friend one day. But long story short, actually, every country is very different and everyone has different habits. And most of the time, it's not what we think, right? So you need to know those things in order to adapt your communication. Second quiz. What is the most preferred payment method in Germany? Is it e-wallet? Is it bank transfer, credit card, or debit card? Credit card, I see. Credit card, e-wallet. Cash. Cash is not an answer. Debit, credit, e-wallet, CC, bank transfer. Thank you. I have Jackie Chung. You are the winner. It's actually bank transfer. Yes. And again, this is something that we believe, because Germany is what we would call a developed country, right? With like a high penetration of online sales, high penetration of digitalization across the different businesses. So we would think that, e-wallet or those kind of new payment methods are widely, used. But actually, that's not the case. And it's been ages that Germans are used to bank transfer, and it's still widely, by far, the first method of payment. So if you go to Germany and you want to sell your product there, and you don't propose bank transfer as an option, you will lose roughly, I think it's like 40% of the people, which they won't buy from you because you don't have that option, right? So if you go to the next slide, the overall idea of this is really that you need to have this localization strategy to be efficient, because otherwise you will go there and you will say, oh, my business doesn't work in Germany, and then you will just drop the ball. But at the end of the day, it's because you haven't properly set up your business for success there. So if you go to the next slide, I think this is going to be a quick recap of the key, figures that we can share with you as well, right? Through Trinity's partnership. When you decide that you want to go to that specific country, we can tell you what are people asking and what are people needing from a consumer standpoint. So everyone has different expectations, right? Italian consumer here, 8 out of 10, they prefer to go to FAQ on self-service portal rather than calling a sales guy or an after sales guy, right? So if you don't have a proper FAQ on your website to answer those questions, most of the Italian people, they will actually drop the ball as well, and they will not buy from you, right? So I will stop here with the examples. If you go to the next slide, this is an example of what we could give you through this partnership. If you tell us, okay, my job, I'm selling, B2B software, or I'm selling gloves for manufacturers and I want to launch in Germany. So my goal is to drive leads, right, through my website. So we will help you to identify all the do's and don'ts for your website in Germany. The must-have, you need to have testimonial case studies brochure. How do you need to put your landing page to make sure that you will drive the maximum of leads and qualitative leads, right? And a lot of different insights on your specific industry that will help you be more efficient. So that's really like a very quick snapshot of what this partnership could help you with. And for example, one of our clients, which is actually a tech B2B business on the next slide, who had some issues on the next slide in low conversion rates in one of their international markets on the next slide. They were actually targeting on the next slide. Por favor. Thank you. Yes, indeed. They were actually targeting a lot of different markets, so including UK, France, Germany, India, and Japan. And they were seeing very low conversion rate versus their domestic market, which was a market in the US at the beginning. And so they came to Google and their partner, agency partner there, to understand how they can adapt their website offering and their service offering as well to fit the consumer needs. So an audit has been done. They changed a lot of things on the user journey, right? And it sometimes can be very simple stuff, right? I was mentioning colors, where do you put the call to action? What type of support do you offer? Is it through email or chat or phone? All of those different small things to make sure that they are relating to the market in question. They did some A/B tests and they've seen tremendous results. The conversion rate moved up for more than 10% and almost 10% as well for the lifetime value of the customer. So they managed to get more customer, but also more valued customer, right? So that's actually an example of how we could help your business be more efficient when you are targeting abroad. And another topic, if we move to the next slide, is around translation, right? So if you have a campaign that are running, I don't know, for Malaysia in English or in another language, or in Thailand with a specific language already, and you want to go to another country and you need to translate those campaigns, Trinity and Google are here to help you as well. This is a free services that you will be able to leverage to translate your campaigns that are already running into another language, right? And it's actually very fast. It's done by people that are, native speakers. So we will make sure that this is a resource that is also usable on your end, and that can help you be successful. And I'm almost done here, but I want also to highlight the fact that if you also just want to understand and be directly linked to a partner, So for example, you say, you know what, I want to go to Brazil, okay? I don't need your help on XYZ. I just want to understand who can I work with there in terms of logistics, payments, consumer experience, and all of those different topics, or just translations, right? You have a network of partners that Trinity can link you up with, and you will have some specific rebates thanks to the partnership that we have together, right? So feel free also to reach out to the team if you are in need of specific services that you can see on the screen. So one last example from the e-commerce industry, and same here. So this is a client that actually was coming from Ireland, and they were selling menswear, and they were selling across different countries. So Australia, United States, Denmark, Sweden, and they were seeing like a very low basket value and conversion rate from those markets outside of Ireland. And what we've done is the same kind of approach. We audited the main payments offering that they had and the checkout experience, right? The step-by-step journey when the client wants to buy a product. And the team gave them like some specific recommendation to change and tweak the client flow. And the results were actually tremendous, right? So they've seen a huge uptick in the number of orders, in the value per order. And at the end of the day, the profitability for those markets went up. So really, we want to end up this session on the next slide with reinstating the 4 steps of export. And I will invite you, before I pass on the mic to John, right? I will invite you to think of those 4 steps on where you are today in this journey and where do you need some support from Trinity and us to help you be more successful along the way. Yeah, I think I've come across everything that I wanted to share with you today. I hope you found it valuable. And now that you know why it's important to go to export, now that you know what the partnership with Trinity can offer you, I will now pass on the mic to John to be a bit more practical and say, okay, so now what do we do? Okay, thank you very much. John, over to you.
Thank you, Arthur, for sharing with us. Okay, now we have Mr. John to share with us about PanPages Trinity's global trade solutions and how we are able to bring your export business to the next level with our Google export expertise. John?
Sure. So, hi everyone. Thank you, Jeremy. And also thank you to Tara and also Arthur for the sharing just now. It's very insightful for all the Malaysia SME who are joining us today. So just a short introduction of myself again. I'm John. So I'm from PanPages Trinity. So there's a good news that thank you to Google that in this year 2022 we are selected as the first Southeast Asia Google International Growth Program partners, and I believe that with this Google partnership, we can able to help Malaysia SME to grow their business in the exporting market more effectively. So next will be how we going to start for this Google Export project. Actually, from the Trinity support, you can let us know your interest, and then please you can fill out the form later, which is Jeremy will provide the digital form to let you all to sign up, and we have the consultant to contact you for the follow-up and guide you on the procedure how to start the Google project. Okay, so with this collaboration, PanPages Trinity also offering a very special package, which is currently users need to have this 9,000 ringgit Malaysia ad spending with this full commitment and also with any time cancellations. Okay, but of course, this package is only available when you sign up with PanPages Trinity by Friday, which is tomorrow. Okay, upon this 9,000 ringgit upfront payment, we will activate this Google export campaign within 1 week's time. So I believe that you all also quite excited to want to start this export journey with the Google. So let's start by the coming weeks. Okay. So of course, after starting the campaign and everything, so from the 3D support, of course, we will have this money report to provide it, and also we will optimize the whole campaign performance, and we do have some suggestions and alternative strategies to overcome any issues happens and to get more optimal performance with the Google support. And of course, after running the campaign, we also can gather all the data to have this competitor analysis and the market insight to let our Malaysian SME to get more informative data and more insight to target those countries they are willing to target for. Jeremy, can you move to the next slide? Thank you. Okay, so of course, when you sign up our digital form, we will send our consultant to engage with you to guide you how to proceed for the sign up procedure. And then after that, you just need to make the payment with any time cancellation if you sign up by tomorrow. And then our Trinity consultant will start your export journey together with Trinity, as we have the professional performance marketing team to help you to set up and launch the campaign for the specific target countries. After that, as I mentioned, we will do the money report review sessions together with the customer to let you all to understand how the whole month performance, and we will come out some data and some study and research to guide you on the next step for the export journey. And lastly, as I mentioned, we will doing some overseas market insight and also competitor analysis for the customer to let you to know more about how you can compete or overperform against your competitors in the global market. So what are you waiting for? Just sign up today or tomorrow and drive an average 1,000 of overseas buyers to your website with our PanPages 3D support. Thank you. So I will pass back to Jeremy.
All right. Thank you very much to all our speakers, Tara, Arthur, and John. I hope everyone here has gained new knowledge on how you can spruce up your export business further with these exclusive Google export solutions. Before we move on to the Q&A session, as shared by John, I'll be sharing a QR code. Yes, you can scan this QR code to show your interest to kickstart your Google Ads with us today. By filling up this form, our consultants will be reaching out to you very soon to start your Google Ads journey with us. I'll leave this page on and we'll move on to the Q&A session. Let me put up the Q&A box. All right, there are a few. Okay, we'll start off with CK Pang. Hi Arthur, by localizing our assets, do you mean creating a separate website for the different countries we are targeting?
Hi. So it really depends. It can take a lot of different forms, right? So it can go from indeed having a website that is different depending on the country you're targeting first. So this is on translation, this is on the different things, or you can also bundle it, right? For example, if you have like markets that are similar, and if you can use one language for several markets, that can also be doable, right? The main question always rely on which market are we talking about? What are your capabilities for, changing whatever is the content that you have, and changing also the operation side of things, right? For example, logistics is way more complicated, I guess, to adapt if you want to have like a very localized version of it. or you can use like a broader, like DHL, those kind of guys, which are very much more efficient in a lot of different ways. But yeah, it's one portion of it. It's to have like a different website. If you have one German website and one English website, for example, it's way better. Or you can have one website, right? Of course, and then you have like the logo of the the flags that you can change language accordingly, right? You don't have to have 10 different websites, but just like to have the content available. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Arthur. Okay, we'll move on to a question from Shingi Tan. How do we do keywords research for countries that search using foreign language?
Do you want me to take this one? Yeah?
Yep, Arthur, can.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So this is actually going to be on us, right? And when I say us, it's Trinity team who will be managing your campaigns, who will be managing your advertising and operations, right? So when you decide to go to a specific country, or if you are already advertising there, our job will be to help you to understand what are people searching for, and help you position yourself on those specific queries, and then optimize the performance along the way. And that's why having those this team that I mentioned that can help being a native speaker, that's one of the key added value that they can bring. But I don't know if you, John, Jeremy, if you want to add anything, or Tara.
Yeah, let me add a little bit. Thanks a lot, Arthur. So basically, the translation within this partnership between Trinity and Google is one of the program and service that we offer. We work together on this. So what's important, as you can see from this QR code, actually, I think it's ideally we should have a website. It's just a business name, but we all know what business you are in. So with that, we will do the right translation and see which market is more likely for you to have opportunity. So we will do that part. So that's that's how we do. So keyword research is on us. We will tell you which market and what is the demand in the market, or we will share that media plan before activating the campaign.
Thanks, Arthur and Tara, for this. We have a question from Anati Nazmi asking, what about the tax in Europe? Arthur, can you address this?
Which question is it? Can you tell me again?
Anati Nazmi asking, what about the tax in Europe?
What about the
referring to export tax? Is it?
Yeah, so depends what we're talking about, because there's a lot of different topics there. And so for this, for example, could be a topic to discuss in terms of logistics, right? For example, if you want to go to for the first time in Europe, then in which type of products are you importing? All of those different things are discussions that you can have with Trinity and with us. But I think it's going to be a very case-by-case piece. We won't actually do any legal activations for you, right? What we can help you with is understand the requirement and understand what does that mean for your business. And actually, there's one thing that we didn't share today, and actually my bad. You have also a tool which is called Market Finder that's accessible to every one of you here on this call, that you can also leverage to understand those kind of things. And you can select a market and select an industry, and you will have a lot of information there. So I'll probably also, Jeremy and John, if you can also maybe add this one at the end when you will send in the recap, could be an interesting one to share for everyone to have a look at it. Because there is a lot of legal aspects that are mentioned there.
Yep, our consultants will be sharing that with attendees today after this session. All right, one from Max Lee. Tara, yeah,
sorry,
can you add on that?
One more thing. So the people who are asking questions, I think you guys would be more likely to be interested in knowing a little bit more. So that QR code is basically confirm your interest to have a deep conversation, like a detailed discussion on all these matters. What we offer, what you need to do, what we can do, and what next steps are. So please scan the QR code and confirm your interest. It's not this QR code and submission is not signing of a contract, okay? Don't worry about that. It's just sharing your interest so that we can move forward, because we won't be talking to everyone who are here today. It's like it was at 1.90 plus people. So we will prioritize the people who submit your interest, and we will take these kind of questions accordingly, depending on your type of business, the products, the market we will target. I just want to add that. And thanks, Jeremy. Next question is on me. Thanks for asking question, Max. How many conversion will my business will be able to receive using Google Ad? Love it. That's what I'm also aiming for, and to share and drive a performance for you. But even God doesn't actually not able to answer your question right now. Number one, I don't know your business, your website. A lot of things matters, right? So please, Max, submit your business. And also, I know your name now, so I will link back to you, and hopefully we have this conversion performance related question. But I'm sorry, my answer with this, I can't answer. Even God doesn't know. So sorry about that, but we will definitely drive performance, conversion, revenue, traffic, or potential clients to your business.
Thanks for that, Tara. Max, we'll connect with you after this session. Another question from Shingy Tan. 9,000 spending, is it for 1 month? John, can you address this?
Sure, Jeremy. So to reply Sini Tan, so for the 9,000 ringgit, right, actually the spending is for 3 months' time. Means that in 1 month's time, you just need to spend 3,000 ringgit to target one country. This is what we ideally planning for our client.
Actually, one more thing. So 9,000 is over 3 months, right, John?
Yes.
It's not like 3,000 exact amount a month. It can be lower or higher, but we need to look at how your business would work, market we target. So, but it's just a minimum to, activate or start the campaign. I hope that helps.
Sure, agree with Tara. Thank you for Tara for the clarifications. So I just pass back to Jeremy. Thank you.
Yeah, there's another one from an anonymous attendee. How long is this campaign? I think this person is referring to how long is this 9,000 package available to them. John, can you let them know?
As I mentioned just now, the 9,000 ringgit will be over three months times, but it can be more than the 3 months time. Depends on just now what Tara mentioned. It depends on what industry you are. So this one will be we will have a better conversation after the webinar, so that we can go in deep to your industry and advise on the duration of the campaign with this 9,000 spending. Thank you.
This person answering this question, submit your details through the QR code. We will attend to you. Like John mentioned earlier, it's best to show your interest by tomorrow to kickstart your 9,000 campaign, and we can start planning and discussing with you from there onwards. All right, another one with Anati Nazmi. You'll be using the available statistics in Google. Will you be teaching how to access these data, or you will just give the report and analysis?
Actually, this is a question we all can answer, but I will maybe start. You'll be teaching how to access these data, So you are saying you need a direct access to Google Ad? I mean, I think it's a Trinity policy, but we are very transparent and open to it. But what's really important when you use agency and in this partnership is leading and guiding your business to go global. So whatever you are comfortable, we will be sharing like how we get this data, what this data means for your business. We need a definition of reporting and analysis, but those are like provided by Google. Therefore, it's not like random data. As I shared earlier, we have reliable and a lot of different, companies to support these numbers. So whenever you have a question with the data, reach out to Trinity. I will also definitely look into those, numbers, and I'm more than happy to have a conversation if needed with you, Nazmi.
Thanks, Tara. I think still there's two more questions from the same person, and I think that's me. Will you teach the SME on how to do keyword analysis? And when you sell online to Europe, will there be an import tax?
Audience maybe not on mute, right? So number one, Trinity will guide you through about how this performs and share the data, but it is not actually education institute. So teaching is, I'm not sure what you really mean by that. Our objective is grow your business when it comes to export, because majority of businesses has opportunity, but we do not know where to start. So that will be their main role. And anything about your business and tax, more than happy to take it separately, because depending on market and industry, this varies, right? So can't answer you right away, but I believe you already submit your interest through this QR code, because we will serve and answer the first, it's like first come, first served. We'll prioritize the people who submit their interest first. Hope that answers the question. Anybody want to add, please?
All good. All right. One from Yuri Ong. I am from a small business. If I do not have a big budget to start my Google Ads, what will be your recommendation?
Jeremy, can I take these questions?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, sure. So Yuri, regarding to your questions, you are saying that if you do not have any big budget, what is the recommendations? Actually, Google, we do not set any limit, the credit limit for spending in a Google search campaign or any campaign. But of course, if you have some budget restraint, maybe you can later on our consultant will contact you. You just let us know how much budget you can spend for the campaign, and we will recommend to you the best the best options for you to go through this Google campaign later. Thank you.
Thanks, John. All right, there's a question from Wilgin Liu. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrongly. If we join the campaign, those data acquired will be similar to the data templates showed by Mr. Arthur just now. And another question is it only can target the only 3 countries or any other limitations? Arthur, can you take this?
Yeah. Okay, if we join the campaign, those data acquired would be similar to the data templates showed with the Arthur. Okay, so I mean, the what I've shown is more like how to say analysis, right, of insights, right? For example, the consumer profile of the people that loves jewelry in the US. This is something that we can do on an ad hoc basis, right? But it's more like an insight to help guide the marketing strategy, right? So yes, we can first for the insight piece. Then on the second layer, which is more on the the guides on how to have a proper website for that specific audience, we will also be sharing it. Trinity will be sharing it actually, thanks to their capabilities that they have in this partnership. But I guess here, this is two things that are different from the campaign itself, right? The advertising campaign, it's something on its own, and then you will have Trinity's template and way of sharing this data with you, which I'm not fully capable to actually share. So I think on this specific part, I guess you guys are better suited to answer.
John, would you like to add on?
Okay, so okay, sure. What Arthur sharing is most very correct. So of course the data it can be similar like what Arthur sharing, but we still need to understand what are the industry you are, and then during the campaign running we will gather all the data, and some of the data might be similar and some of the data might not be similar as what Arthur showing, but maybe Mr. Belgian, for further understanding later on, we have a consultant to proceed to you to approach to you to discuss further on this campaign reportings. Thank you.
Thanks, John. All right, there's another question from Xingyi Tan. What would be the commitment from Google or Trinity for the results of our campaign? Under the chat box. John, can you address this?
Okay, sure. Okay, what are the commitments that Trinity or Google for the result of our campaign? Of course, based on those analyses, as Tara mentioned just now. So before we understand your industry, it's hardly to say that how much is conversion and everything. So we will need to do a very deep analysis, market analysis or research to understand more about your industry, maybe the CPC or click-through rate and everything. So we'll calculate for to let you know the estimation of the visitors or how many clicks or conversion from your website. But definitely based on what we are promoting with this 9,000 ringgit Malaysia spending for this campaign, definitely you can drive more than 1,000 of overseas buyer to visit to your website. And also during the campaign, we will provide you the report as your reference to understand how is the overall performance after the end of the campaign with Trinity. Thank you.
Actually, yeah, thanks, John. So the question from Xin Yi is about the commitment of performance, and also that it's related to new question from Ivy that can we use the past performance of other businesses? So these are all about performance, right? So basically using Google tools, for example, like Google Keyword Planner, just one example, it will offer what is the number of queries per keyword and average click-through rates. But those numbers doesn't mean that you will have that much performance for your business. It can be higher, it can be lower. That is why you need help from professionals, because Trinity has been doing and driving ad performance through digital marketing for a long time. So they will advise you based on your business, what is the marketing message or product that you need to use in which market. So we will do that kind of high level estimation and number before starting the campaign. So that you can use as a reference point. What it means is other business, if they are like having 100 clicks a month, you might get 1,000, you might get 10. It all depending on user experience and marketing messages. So these two questions are actually related together. We will have that conversation, like what is the, what Trinity sees as a, possible performance for your business, and we will share the data and also how it performs along the way. So I hope that answers each businesses works differently. You maybe can refer to, but it doesn't guarantee anything. You will know. So for example, if you are buying water, you search water, if everyone says different things, but you have something different, like specific water, like maybe 300 ml, 1000, 1.5 liters. So yeah, it works all differently. That is why you need to add a solution with professional to target right audience at the aiming and targeting right audience at the right time.
Thanks, Tara, for addressing that. All right, I think there are a few questions that Tara has already replied in writing, but I'll just read it out and for the benefit of the rest of the attendees here. There's one from Daniel Chong. According to the export journey presented, how long will it take from market identification to go-to-market strategy if we were to start this campaign? Arthur, can you share more on this?
Of course.
Yeah.
And so actually this is again depending on a lot of things, and most of those things would be on your end, right? Because in a perfect world, we can do the analysis on week number 1, identify the markets we want to go. Then week number 2, we can deep dive into the consumer insights, understanding the behaviors, the trends, the competition, all of those things. And then week number 3, you actually start to localize your website, localize your operations, but I think this is the longest part, right? Which we have only a consultative value, right? We can tell you what should be done, how it should be done, but we cannot do this for you, right? So that's where this can take more time, right? Finding the right partner for logistics, setting this up, translating the website, translating having like a customer support team there, those kind of different things. I mean, sometimes you don't have to go through all of this, right? Imagine you have a B2B website it's a service that's not physical, and you just take your English website that you're already running and you launch in the US, and it's a fully digital product. I mean, it can be very fast, right? Because you don't have any of those topics to go through. So it really depends on that aspect of what product and all the operational roadblocks. But to give you a proper answer, imagine you are someone who is sizable enough, let's say, and selling physical product, okay? Often what we see from the first day we say, let's go there, and from the moment we are actually selling there, it's a minimum of 3 months, I would say, because you need to set up everything that we just mentioned, right? But that varies a lot. Some people are faster, some people are slower, really, on this end. It's a case-by-case situation, I would say.
Thank you very much, Arthur. All right, I think we'll take one last question for the session from Mackenzie George. Hi, Tara. I understand that 88% of search queries are coming from outside of Southeast Asia. How do I know which country will be the target for my business?
When we decide which country to target, we would look at the demand in the market. So we will give you a high-level estimation which country are looking for your services or products the most, and we know how much budget we can allocate each and different countries. And we said starting budget is 9,000 ringgit, and you can take a call whether you're gonna start with 1 country or 3 countries, or you wanna try all the country in the first month, and etc. So that way we learn and see which country you wanna target the most, maybe next month, or that's part of our marketing strategy. So simple answer is based on market demand for your services or product.
All right, thank you very much, Tara. Okay, so this marks the end of our session for today. Thank you so much to our speakers, Tara, Arthur, and John, for joining us today, for sharing with us on the Google export solutions that we have and that we can offer to you, our clients. Do not forget to scan the QR code, drop your details, tell us that you're serious, show us your interest. Our consultants will be reaching out to you one-to-one to dive deep into how are we going to help you to grow your export business with our proven Google solutions. Right, I'll leave this on for a while. But thank you very much for joining us. Do stay tuned for more interesting webinars like this again in the future. See you soon and take care. Goodbye.